What is going on, everybody? It is the HHN Dawg here, the leader of the pack, and welcome to episode 4 of HHN Dawg's horror movie reviews. Now, today I will be reviewing Halloween 2. Now, before I give this review, this will contain spoilers. So if you have not seen Halloween 2, I recommend you turning off the video now and checking this out. But if you have seen this movie and are a fan of it like I am, you know what goes down. So let's get into it. So Halloween 2 was released in 1981. It was directed by Rick Rosenthal and written by the original writers of the original Halloween film, John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. So this movie, Halloween 2, immediately picks up right where the original left off, where Loomis shoots him 6 times. 6 times, I shot him in the heart. He's not human. Where Michael gets up, walks off with 6 bullet holes in him with no pain whatsoever. So Laurie, played by the returning Jamie Lee Curtis, ends up going to the hospital for the loss of blood. For the pain she suffered in the original Halloween, and Michael ends up finding out where Laurie goes, and that is to the Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. So Michael ends up following her, and then Loomis, played by Donald Pleasence, ends up finding out where Michael's going. So he heads to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, and in this Halloween 2, it basically takes place in the hospital. So some deaths that you see in the movie are one where the security guard in the middle of the movie, towards the end, where the security guard gets a hammer to the face. Another death is when one of the nurses gets boiled to death by getting her face stuck in the hot tub in over, I think, 125 degree water. So she gets boiled to death, boiled to death. And then another nurse, she gets, I guess her blood gets drained all over the floor, where I guess she got the thing where you donate, where the blood gets taken out of your arm to donate blood. She gets that stuck in her arm and she bleeds out and dies. And and then my favorite scene in the whole movie, so I guess you can call it my favorite death. I don't really want to call it a death because he doesn't die. It's the very end of the movie where Dr. Loomis releases flammable gases in that one room in the hospital, and he looks at Michael with the lighter in his hands, and he says, "Michael, it's time." He sets off the lighter, and the whole room just blows up in flames, and scarring Loomis, which you don't see Loomis after that, so he didn't die. He was just scarred. But Michael ends up burning to death, so he didn't die. He just ended up burning with severe burns, but we never saw his face, but he just ended up burning at the end of the movie. So those are some of the deaths you see in the movie. My favorite has to be when that one hospital room blows up in flames and Michael ends up burning. That's my favorite death in the movie. And one thing I didn't like in Halloween 2, now don't get me wrong, I love Halloween 2. Even though a lot of people look at it like it's a terrible sequel, I love Halloween 2. Now the one thing that really kind of killed it for me was when Loomis finds out that Michael and Laurie are brother and sister. That really kind of killed it for me. Now, again, don't get me wrong, I love Halloween 2, but the whole thing where Laurie finds out that, or where Loomis finds out that Laurie and Michael are brother and sister, that kind of just that kind of ruins it for me. But this is still a good movie, and so yeah. But on a scale of 1 to 5, I give this movie a solid 4.5 out of 5. It is a great sequel. I love it. I still watch it to this day. But yeah, if you have not seen this, see it. It's a great movie. It's really good. And it picks up immediately where the original Halloween left off. So, yeah. So thank you everyone so much for watching episode 4 of HHN Dawg's horror movie reviews. So stay tuned next week when I review the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre released in 1974. So stay tuned for that episode next week. And until next week, everybody, I will see you all in the doghouse.